here are 10 facts every wine lover should know about medium to full-bodied red wines like Merlot, Tempranillo, and Pinotage. From which region in the world does Merlot originate? Bordeaux in France, where it is the most widely planted varietal. The two regional appellations or names used for Merlot grown anywhere in Bordeaux are Bordeaux AOC and Bordeaux Supérieur AOC, the latter of which has tighter regulations, producing lower yields, wine of a higher minimum alcohol, and a slightly longer aging process. The result? More complex, expensive wines. So if you want to treat yourself with a decent drink, look for Bordeaux Supérieur AOC on the label. What grape varietals go into making a red Bordeaux wine? So red Bordeauxs are a blend of up to 6 varietals: Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Petit Verdot, Malbec, and occasionally Carmenere. Depending on the winemaker's vision, Bordeaux blends are made from differing percentages of these grapes, each of which adds a unique characteristic to the wine. Overall, however, Bordeaux wines can be characterized as medium to full-bodied with bold aromas of blackcurrant, plums, and earthiness. There is otherwise a lot of variety depending on where in Bordeaux they originate, the producer, and the vintage. Why is Merlot typically blended with other wines like Cabernet Sauvignon? Merlot softens the harder-edged tannins of other grapes like Cabernet Sauvignon, while adding red fruit flavors and approachability, which allows the wine to be consumed when it's younger. Otherwise, its tannins would have been way too harsh. In which country did Grenache originate? So Grenache originated in Spain, where it is known as Garnacha. Grenache means the same thing as Garnacha, but you can deduce the wine's origins and even style based on how it's written in French or Spanish. The same thing applies to Shiraz and Syrah and Pinot Gris and Pinot Grigio. Back to Grenache though, the typical profile of this wine is dry, medium to full body, very red fruited, wild plum, red cherry, and occasionally spicy notes like white pepper and licorice. As these wines age, they tend to develop meaty notes of earth and mushrooms as well as dried red fruits. Okay, so what is up with the wine label acronyms AOC, DOC, DOCa, and DO? Well, these acronyms are all wine classifications that appear on the wine label. Understanding what they mean will tell you about what grapes were used to make that wine, where those grapes were grown, the style in which the wine was made, and the quality you can expect from it. So for example, AOC stands for Appellation d'origine contrôlée, an important classification system for French wines. Appellation or appellation is the legally defined geographical area that identifies the origin of a wine, and d'origine contrôlée tells you that there's a system in place to guarantee a certain quality of the wines produced within that region. Winemakers have to meet specific AOC requirements if they want to, for example, put champagne or chablis on the bottle. If these more complex wine acronyms go over your head, remember you can really learn and ingrain their meaning and significance by studying more flashcards like these in the Brainscape app, which leverages spaced repetition to help you learn these wine facts super efficiently. All right, let's dive back in. What are the 2 most important appellations in Spain for quality Tempranillo? Rioja DOCa and Ribera del Duero DO. Tempranillo as a wine is typically dry, medium-bodied with medium tannins and medium acidity, and a mix of red and black fruits like cherry and plums. On bottles of Rioja, you'll see the terms Crianza, Reserva, or Gran Reserva. What do these mean? So they tell you how long the wine was aged before it's released to the market. Gran Reserva wines are wines of great vintages that have been aged for a total of 60 months, with at least 2 years in oak barrels and 2 years in the bottle. That's why they're more expensive than Crianza red wines, which are aged for 24 months with a minimum of 6 months in oak barrels. Reserva wines are aged for a minimum of 36 months with 1 year in oak. Only top-tier grapes are used to craft Gran Reserva and Reserva wines in Spain. Which country is known for Pinotage? South Africa. So Pinotage is actually a hybrid of Pinot Noir and Cinsault. In South Africa, Cinsault is called Hermitage, and so Pinot Noir plus Hermitage equals Pinotage. The varietal was created from a crossing of these 2 grape varietals at the University of Stellenbosch in the Western Cape Province, which is the beating heart of the South African wine industry. In fact, about 90% of all the wines produced in the country originate from this coastal province's vineyards and cellars. Which 2 South American countries are known for their Carmenere and Malbec? Chile and Argentina respectively. Argentinian Malbecs are generally more fruit-forward than those made in France and are usually bottled as single varietal wines. They tend to be sweeter, carrying notes such as cherry, blackberry, and cocoa, with more subtle aromas of flowers, chocolate, and sometimes tobacco. Chilean Carmenere, on the other hand, is a medium-bodied wine with a deep red color and aromas of red fruit, spices, and berries. The tannins are gentler and softer than those in Cabernet Sauvignon, making it a more versatile wine for lighter food dishes. What is the prevalent black grape varietal in Tuscany, Italy? Sangiovese. It's also the grape used to make Chianti. So Sangiovese wines are typically dry with high tannins and acidity. They exhibit red fruit flavors and aromas like cherries and plums and dried herbal notes like oregano and basil. Most are affordable, simple wines with no oak, although some concentrated styles of Classico and Riserva Sangiovese-based wines will see some oaking.
That's the end of your 10 flashcard study round. You can find hundreds more questions like these in Brainscape's collection of wine appreciation flashcards, or in our comprehensive flashcard collections for the WSET and Court of Masters Sommelier exams. And of course, keep listening to the rest of this hands-free playlist to massively level up your wine knowledge.